name is Imelda Withers Brown. In 1974, my husband Peter was a player for the Bury St Edmunds Rugby Club.
My name is John Cousins. In 1974, I was scrum half for Bury St Edmunds Rugby Club.
My name is Austin Cornish. In 1974, I was 3 years old. My father, Laurie Cornish, was on the Bury St Edmunds Rugby Club touring team to Paris. There was a baggage handler's strike with British Airways on the plane that was supposed to be getting on the Sunday, so they drafted in another flight. When the plane took off, it got up to 10,000 feet, and at that point the cargo door blew off. Then came down in Ermenville Forest, just outside Paris.
That Sunday, I was lying in the settee with two of my children, one on each arm, and the dog with his head under my arm. And it came on the television that there had been a plane crash and so many people killed.
The Bury 15, who were over there on a mini tour, wouldn't have been on that plane because they wouldn't have gone on a Turkish airline plane anyway and that sort of thing. So basically, we didn't think too much about it.
Roughly about 10 o'clock that night, the police came to my house and confirmed that Laurie was one of the people on the flight.
I went on the trip to Paris. Myself and two others, we stayed on. The following morning, we actually were watching Racing Club play rugby, where we heard of the disaster. And of course, panic set in. There was an official of the Racing Club, his name was John Pierre. He took us to his flat so that we could ring home and tell our families that we were safe.
My daughter, who was 6, said to me, "Why are so many people calling to see you?" I said, "Because they know I miss Daddy and they don't want me to be lonely." The rugby club were absolutely fantastic. They allocated one person for each family so that if we had any problems, we only had to ring them and they were there for us.
The whole of Bury St Edmunds Rugby Club were supportive right the way through.
It was one of the rugby players, Bill Johnson, who became guardian for my 3 children.
People were stopping me and shaking my hand. I hadn't got a clue who they were. They knew I was something to do with the rugby club. And quite often, you know, they'd leave a couple of pound notes or something in my hand, which obviously went into the fund.
Mike Tilbrook, who when I joined the club, looked after me, and I think now we are probably getting over the disaster. There was a time when there was a lack of allocadoos. For example, when I was the youngest president, I used to do the pre-match luncheons and speeches, and then go off, get my kit on and get out on the rugby pitch.
A club like this could have very easily folded because it was a huge section of the club was taken out of the membership. First team is now playing National 3 rugby, which is fantastic compared to where we came from.
I'm known as a bit of a doer, and I think that's really come from having to toughen up through my childhood and get on with things. We're cycling from the crash site back to Bury St Edmunds Rugby Club on the 7th of May. It's 310 miles. I'm sort of looking at it as a bit of a return journey for me. We're going to be getting the ferry into Dover, and I'm not looking forward to seeing the White Cliffs in this instance anyway.
There's a lot of hills in Kent. Kent is a real pig, so that is going to be a difficult day. And yeah, it's just keeping one another going and having a bit of a laugh on the way and trying to enjoy it, have a bit of fun.
I'll think of my father and, you know, put my head down and get stuck in, so that's what he used to do, so yeah, bit of grit.
Wow, listening to some of the contributors there, it's very, very moving to watch that. Your father, sadly, Laurie, died. You were 3 years old. Just an unbelievable time for you within that rugby club community. They all came round you, and you all ended up playing with a lot of the sons who had lost fathers in that crash.
Yeah.
What are your memories of it?
Yeah, there's a very close bond between us all. You know, there's 21 children that lost their father that day. And, you know, we've all got a close bond.
It's just incredible. It's just such an incredibly sad time, but you've got together and you've tried to make some good come out of it, and you're doing this incredible bike ride. Tell everyone about it, because this is your chance to try and raise as much money as possible.
Well, we're cycling from Ermenville, the crash site in France, back to St Edmunds Rugby Club on the 7th to the 7th to the 11th of May this year. We're raising money for putting in floodlighting into the youth pitches at Bury Rugby Club and for the local hospice. And so far we've got 100 people signed up. We've got a website, memorialcycleride.co.uk, and there's a Just Giving page on there.
Isn't rugby just incredible? Isn't the community of rugby incredible? And in moments like that, it really shows its great side, doesn't it? I mean, your experience just proves that, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, I mean, I think virtually every club in the country made some form of donation and helped and pulled together.
OK, well, no one's leaving this studio unless you donate something to this man's cause. And we're going to put up on the screen, though, how you can do that. Do you want to remind everyone how they can pledge money to your great 310 miles you're going to undertake? It's going to be tricky for you. You're going to need the financial help. Tell them how to do it.
So it's www.memorialcycleride.co.uk, and there's a donate item on there.
OK, and there's a Just Giving page. You can go your
There's a Just Giving page, and yeah, please donate what you can.
We wish you the very best of luck. Thank you so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it.